Hi everyone. Sorry for being a minute or two late there. I promise you I was not doing something unimportant. It's always busy. Reaching out to you from sunny, hot El Paso. El Paso del Norte, the pass or path to the north is where I am right now. And I'm about to start a live stream. So if you are watching right now, you're watching live. If you're watching later on, you're watching a video. Either way, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button underneath the YouTube video if that's where you're watching. And if you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and heart or thumbs up or comment or share. All things good. Now, if you are on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed, and go ahead and hit the bell notification, turn that on so you never miss another tour. Shannon, it's good to see you. Thanks for letting me know that we're good on Facebook, and welcome to El Paso. I don't know what it's like up in Canada right now, but it's hot, hot, hot down here. I'm sitting in the shade because it's the only good place to be honest with you. Everywhere else is a little too warm. The high today, 98 degrees. Currently 94 degrees Fahrenheit. Someone give me the Celsius for that. Oh wait, I can actually ask the computer here. That is 37 degrees as a high today. 34 degrees is what I'm working with right now in Celsius. But once you kind of figure out the heat index on all of that, it's hot. It's hot. Yeah. Air quality, 45 out of 100. It's a hot day today. Anyway. Oh, great. Thanks for that, Nikki. And Nikki just chimed in there on Facebook as well. Hey, Shannon, can you let me know if we're on YouTube? Did it go through? YouTube's been acting a little bit funny. Only 21 degrees in Canada, Shannon says. Nikki, to answer your question, yes, I am wearing a new hat right now. This is a Garcia's Mexican food hat. Garcia's is a great place in San Antonio. I picked up this hat a while ago, and it doesn't quite fit me because I have quite the large head. You can see I've got it like extended all the way out to one of the last little dots there to keep it on. But my other hat that I've been wearing it's been giving me like a little bit of like bad skin because it's just too gross and gritty and it needs a proper washing. Maybe that's too much information. Thank you, Shannon, for letting me know that we're also up on YouTube. Wonderful, wonderful. Hi, Diana. Welcome to El Paso, Texas. Welcome, welcome. Now, guys, we're going to be doing something a little bit different today because of the other day. If you were with me as we were checking out a sunset over the Hudson, I asked a question about live streaming, and I wanted to know whether or not live streaming, just like walking through the city and not commenting on it, was something that was interesting to people. And the overwhelming, resounding answer from you, the community, was no. We want the commentary. We don't want just a walkthrough. And that's tough if it's me doing it, because it's a lot of content to have to learn if I'm like doing a different city every day. Now, I always try, if I can, to link up with another guide to be able to do a tour with them. The problem there is that they can't see the chat because they're being filmed, more or less. So we end up getting a disconnect between you guys wanting to ask questions and share information and sharing the experience and the guide. So I'm trying something different today as a happy medium to see if it works. So you're guinea pigs as always, and I thank you for it. And what we're going to be doing is many cities, the DMO, the Destination Marketing Organization, like the Visit Scotland, the Visit London, the Visit Canada, the Visit New York or whatever, or New York it's called NYC Go. These marketing organizations, these visiting companies, they, in some places, design and develop self-guided tours. Maybe some of you have done them before. And it turns out that Visit El Paso has also done this self-guided tour setup, which is great. And I'm going to be using their self-guided tour today, which I've already walked through twice myself to be able to learn a lot about it and practice it and make sure I knew where I was going and all of that. But ultimately, the content, the information that I'm going to be giving is coming from them, peppered with my own research that I've done around the sides. it's a model that will allow us to share in live experiences, still have incredible video and visceral, immersive, visual, and the content not just being kind of wishy-washy, but more built out and structured as part of an official tour. All right, so with that, we might as well get started. And a special thank you to Visit El Paso for doing the hard work on putting together a lot of the content. And we're gonna go for around 45 minutes right now, because I have to, as soon as this tour is done, hop in the car and start driving further west towards Tombstone, Arizona, because I want to be in Tombstone tonight by 7 p.m. their local time to catch the sunset for you guys. Okay, so we're gonna do sunset in Tombstone, and then I'm gonna very sneakily go on a ghost tour, which I'm paying to go on, but I'm gonna record the ghost tour as well. If I can get away with live streaming it, I might. If not, it's just gonna end up being a video that you guys can watch the premiere later on. But we're gonna try to do two looks around Tombstone later on. Oh my goodness, I can't even tell you how cool this is. But it just flew away. As I was sitting here, like literally this close to my face, a hummingbird just flew up and almost parked itself on my gimbal. But he's flown away now. He's copped that I was with him. Jeanette, good to see you, my dear. Very, very happy to have you with me as well. And Diana, thank you for the reassurance about what we're doing right now. So sip of water, and then let us take a look at this square that we're in right now. All right, San Jacinto Plaza, named after none other than the Battle of San Jacinto, which was a major turning point for Texas, the Republic of Texas, pre-statehood, as it fought for its independence from Mexico. And the Battle of San Jacinto, which comes after the Alamo, which we learned about when we were in San Antonio. Battle of San Jacinto is when that, independence is assured after that victory. So that's why they've named the square that. Hold on a second, I'm just buckling up my belt here really quick. Sorry for the lack of movement. Yep, guys, thanks. I am going to keep very well hydrated as we go. So as we go through San Jacinto, please notice something, which is specifically, I want you to be looking for what is basically the animal symbol in many ways of El Paso. You guys see him? You cop him? See him there on the ping pong tables? You see him again. He's gonna give it away. Boom. So, alligators, lots of alligators. I'm going to find out why in a second, because they're here. Yeah, exactly, Shen, gators. So here's me now going to be doing two things at once. Visuals of this park, while also giving you guys information from this walking tour. So, today's San Jacinto Plaza was once the site of the corrals for Ponce de Leon's ranch. The public square was donated to the town. In 1903, the city council named it San Jacinto Plaza in honor of that 1836 Battle of San Jacinto, Texas. The city contracted with J. Fisher Satterthwaite to create beauty out on this desert patch. And he surrounded the park with a fence, created a walled pond, erected a gazebo, and planted 75 Chinese elm trees. And here's the kicker. He also introduced 3 alligators into the pond in the middle of this park. The reptiles thrive. Soon there were 7 of them. The plaza has been remodeled several times, most recently in 2016. In 1967, the pond was removed and the alligators were placed in the city zoo. It's not mentioned here, but part of the reason why that had to happen was that the alligators were actually being vandalized and attacked by, ne'er-do-gooders. And one of the alligators had died from internal injuries after being hauled out of the middle pond that you see here, and then eventually thrown back in when the police arrived. So another one was stabbed in the eye with a spear. So the alligators were rescued and put into the zoo. Shannon just asked a really good question. Shannon asked me, Chris, where is the super chat button? This is yeah, you're fine though. Don't worry about it. You're okay. Oh shit. Oh shoot. Shucks. Yeah. Hold on a second. It's a good point. I'll go and edit it out anyway. I probably got more than 10 seconds. YouTube's a pain in the butt with that stuff. They whack you, as you know. But thank you. I appreciate that for you being more aware than I was even during a live stream right now. Thank you, brother. See, the people here are so friendly, guys. They're really awesome. You'll notice that there's a lot of folks who are graduating from school right now, and that's why we've got around the town, we're going to see people who are dressed up in graduation gear, both from high school and from college. But Shannon, to answer your question before about the super chat button, unfortunately, I don't know what happened, but we had some fraudulent donations through our super chat. At least it's been flagged for that. So we are on a cool down with YouTube right now, where they have taken our monetization ability away until July. And I really don't know which donation it was or which video it was on, but it wasn't a great day. It wasn't a great day when I found out, but that's how it works sometimes. So that's the answer to that question. And Alexa, great to see you. Thank you. Sorry for not to say hi right away. Really quick, let me just put this down because I gotta get this button on my thingamajig set up so that way I don't. All right. So, yeah. No, right, Jeanette? Just got there. Yeah, I know, it's a bummer, Diana. But you know what? Like, I'm a blue sky guy, and sometimes life's like that. You know, you gotta make lemonade, right? You roll with the punches. You play with the cards that you're dealt. If not, like, what do? You can't give up. So we were talking about the lovely alligators. Many people still refer to this plaza as La Plaza de los Lagartos, or Alligator Plaza. And today we've just seen that fiberglass sculpture by nationally acclaimed local artist Luis Jimenez, which honors the original alligators who are no longer here, but their descendants, or maybe the originals, are over in the zoo. Alligators live for a long time. You can see this really cool motif here on the base of the pond as well. Hey Michaela, wunderschönen Gruß, danke, dass du hier bist. Okay, so why don't we continue? We're going to head from San Jacinto Plaza over to look at the Mills Building, which is over here. But before we do it, just kind of cool as well, there's an old-timey clock over here. From El Paso's 1911 days, and this was like a sidewalk clock to make sure everyone knew what time it was, especially before we had pocket watches, everyone, or swatches and things like that. Oh god, no music! Don't listen to the music, YouTube. I don't want it anymore. Have those music. If I catch music in the background for more than 10 seconds, YouTube dings me. So. Nikki, yeah, I'm pretty sure that Austin is a smaller city than El Paso population-wise, but it's a little bit hard for me to know for sure because it's weird. El Paso really is two cities. It's not just one. It is Ciudad Juarez to the south of here, and as well, it's El Paso, north of the border. It used to be one big city, but when the U.S. and Mexico divide this territory along the Rio Grande, the area to the south is Ciudad Juarez. Actually, they called that still El Paso del Norte, the pass to the north. And it's not changed to be called Ciudad Juarez until later on, after honoring the first president of Mexico, whose last name is Juarez, but I can't remember his first name. So, hey Sarah, good to see you. And Mr. Alrefai over on Twitch. We rarely have someone watching on Twitch. Thank you for being there as well. So what we're looking at right now is the Mills Building. The Mills Building stands on the original site of the 1832 Ponce de Leon ranch house. Anson Mills, whose name you can kind of see carved into the building. Come on, phone. There it is, Anson Mills. Hired architect Henry C. Trost to design and construct this building. It's So completed in 1911. I'm going to zoom back out again for you guys so we can do a little bit of a view. It was one of the largest all-concrete buildings ever constructed here in the city. Reflects the influence of Chicago architect Louis Sullivan. The architectural firm Trost & Trost moved its offices here, where they remained until 1920. The Mills family sold the building in '65, and in '74, the building underwent extensive exterior renovations. The building was acquired by a private developer in 2007, restored, including the reintroduction of the porticos over the sidewalks, which you can see down here at the base. It now again serves as professional office space. So here's the Mills building. Yeah. Very cool. All right, let's take this opportunity to cross the street, and we're gonna go over in this direction, past the Plaza Hotel, which is up here. We're gonna talk about it in a second, but we're gonna talk about it from the other side where we have a better view of it. Now, for those of you who are just joining us now, we are in El Paso, Texas today, and we're going to be heading to Tombstone, Arizona in a little while, and then on to Tucson and Phoenix and eventually Las Vegas. And Nikki, thanks so much for pointing out that our tours in Barcelona started today. In fact, I'll show you really quick. Hopefully you can see this if I set it up properly. Take this off real fast. Take my mic off real fast. So I can't tell whether or not you could see what I was trying to show you there. So you have to let me know if you could see it. I was trying to show you the fact that I'm wearing a Sandeman's Barcelona shirt today in honor of Barcelona reopening. Okay. Great. All right. Hopefully, thank you, Shannon, for the dancing comment. Hopefully you guys could see the shirt as well. Sounds like there's some construction which has started up here around the corner. Let me just get by this. I'm going to turn the mic off for a second so you don't have to listen to this, okay? Okay, mic back on again. Boy, that was loud. You guys have no idea how blastingly loud that was just that. Incredible stuff. Oh, good. I'm glad that you guys saw the shirt as well. It's awesome stuff. So, I mean, I'm really chuffed about it. Those guys worked really hard. A special thank you to Javier, who's done a ton of work to get that going. Hey, Thorsten. Thanks for being here, my friend. So, this is the center building, what we're looking at here. It's the old White House department store, as well as the old Hotel McCoy. It's an elegant essay in white terracotta in the Chicago commercial style, designed by Henry C. Trost. It's the second time I've said that guy's name. It will not be the last time, as you will notice as we go through good old El Paso. Opened in 1912, the first floor and the basement housed the store, and the hotel occupied the other 6 floors as you went up. The building was renovated into office retail space in 1985 and included a 7-level atrium that allows natural light to filter into the climate-controlled space below. Renovated again in 2011. And right next to it, what we have is the Plaza Theater Performing Arts Center over here. Let's cross the street and get a closer look at this building. The Plaza Theater was designed by architect W. Scott Dunn in the Spanish colonial revival style, and opened in 1930 to a capacity crowd of 2,410 people. It was built and opened in the beginning of the Great Depression, but the plaza represents the architectural extravagance associated with the glamorous era of the motion picture industry itself. There are a bunch of atmospheric effects inside the seating area where people, view whatever's happening. That gives you a feeling of an evening sky complete with twinkling stars and floating clouds. Can't see it from in here, but the mighty Wurzelitzer pipe organ filled the auditorium with its majestic music. But by the 1970s, like many of these old theaters, the plaza had begun a period of decline. And by '86, it was forced to demolish. It faced demolition, to make way for a parking lot. A massive fundraising effort led by the El Paso Community Foundation saved the plaza. And in 2002, the El Paso Community Foundation and the city of El Paso partnered to restore the plaza to its original splendor as a performing arts center, reopening in March of 2006. Now, there you go. How about that? Now, if we look back over in this direction, now we can really get a better view of the Plaza Hotel staring down from above at us. Now, the Plaza Hotel was constructed on the site of the Hotel Sheldon, which was destroyed by fire in 1929. The Sheldon had served as the unofficial headquarters for many of the participants of the Mexican Revolution from 1910 to 1920s, from both sides of the border, in fact. Between 1925 and 1929, Conrad Hilton himself of the Hilton Hotel Empire built 8 new hotels in Texas, with construction of the 19-story, 300-room El Paso Hilton beginning in the fall of 1929. However, 19 days later, the stock market crashed and the Great Depression began. Despite this setback, the hotel that we're looking at here opened on November 30th, 1930. Hilton survived the Depression and later credited the El Paso Hilton as having helped save him from financial ruin. Yeah. You'll never believe it, but the architect of this building was a guy by the name of Henry C. Trost. It is an Art Deco style building with a Mesoamerican and Pueblo Indian influence. The Plaza Hotel is significant as one of El Paso's early steel frame high-rise setback structures. The exterior remains largely unaltered from its original form. The hotel was sold in 1967 by the Hilton Corporation and renamed the Plaza Hotel. That's what it is today. It closed in 1991, but was restored as this boutique that we're looking at right now in 2020. So. Me too, Sarah. Sarah writes on YouTube, love the mix of old and new buildings. And there's a lot of great old buildings here in in El Paso, I have to say. It's really pretty. It's pretty incredible. So this square that we're in right now is known as Pioneer Square, or Pioneer Plaza, and it was the old public hub of kind of central activity in El Paso until El Paso growing. They needed a new location, and they moved that over to where we were before, in the Alligator Square, San Jacinto. So. What do I want to tell you about? Well, how about this guy right here? This is Fray Garcia de San Francisco, who was the guy that helped open up this, the path of the North in 1659. Which is what the city to the south of us, Ciudad Juarez, it's where the original city was, and that's what it was called. So. This square itself, before it was moved along, to the main hub being around the corner and across the street, this was one of those locations where people would be able to gather. There was a Paseo Aztec, like a an irrigation ditch that flowed along the side of this small pioneer square, which allowed a line of trees to grow. One of those trees became known as the newspaper tree because that's where public notices would be posted. Major roads and trails pass through this plaza. Hey, Hale, good to see ya. Thanks for joining. Very, very welcome. Thank you. And Nikki seems very quiet compared to other cities in Texas you have been to. It's hot right now. I think people are just smarter than me, and they've decided not to be out here in the heat for as long as I am. But I think that come the evening, more people will show back up again. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. Okay, so we're gonna backtrack a little bit this way and come back around and head over to our next location, which is gonna be, oh gosh, no, what am I doing? Sorry guys. This is me having only walked this twice before. And actually, I want to take you back over here really quick because there's another building I want to show you before we head in the other direction. Which is none other than backside of the Friar. Good to see you again, Monsieur. Yes, I want to show you this building over here that's coming around the corner. It's the Hotel Paseo del Norte. And you're never going to guess, but it's another Henry C. Trost building. Dun, dun, dun. In 1911, prominent El Paso businessman Zach T. White, Felix Martinez, and other investors engaged Trost and Trost. Those architects that we love so much here in El Paso, and they set to work to build the Paso del Norte Hotel. Together, Zach White and Henry C. Trost studied the structures in San Francisco that had withstood the catastrophic earthquakes of 1906. And this building was engineered accordingly. Construction materials included concrete, brick, and steel. Inside of the building, you have the interior entryway with one of the most elegant country had ever seen, including a magnificent 25-foot diameter Tiffany-style stained glass dome. You've got salmon-colored scaglolia, like marble-like composite lobby walls and pillars, and a round relief sculpture signed by H.C. Trost himself inside. Designed in the Chicago School Beaux-Arts influence, the hotel opened in November 1912, and over the years hosted numerous dignitaries and celebrities from both sides of the border. And in 1986, they added this sort of higher middle tower rising up from the building. The original 10-story hotel, you can kind of see below, was fully restored and remodeled. So another restoration planned very soon. In fact, that I snuck in there and stole a video of what it looks like. Great overall view. I didn't steal, I borrowed, excuse me. And here it is. Here's a little video that I shot a little bit earlier on. I'm not sure if you're getting video from me or if you're getting, audio from me or audio from, probably no audio right now other than my audio. Hopefully you can hear me. But this is looking out over towards Mexico, towards Ciudad Juarez, because that is what is on the other side of those train tracks. You can kind of see that elevated platform that you see there. Closer in, right, is El Paso. Further out is Ciudad Juarez. You can see that the cities just flow one into the other. It's a very unnatural border, in fact, because so many people who live in Juarez have family in El Paso, and so many people that live in El Paso have family in Juarez. Okay, in fact, you see where my finger is right now. I'm pointing along where the bridge is that crosses over into Mexico and back again the other direction. And this was a thriving border crossing for a long time, but then things started to change by the 70s, 80s, 90s, And Juarez is a great example of one of the locations in Mexico which really suffers very prominently from its close relationship and location to the US, with high demand for drugs and in the north, and availability of weapons here to then be transported south of the border. Mexico has a serious crime issue that comes a lot from this unfortunate and painful relationship at times. So yeah, in fact, the day before yesterday, 12 people were murdered in Juarez, 2 of them police officers. It's tricky. It's a tricky thing. All right, so where am I going here? I'm heading south along here, and oh gosh, thank you, Nikki, for that. I mean, I'm trying to get better and better at being able to relatively quickly put things together for us as a community and show us things, and just like really maximize time and efficiency on a lot of it. So that way we can travel, we can see places, and we kind of like forge a new way for live streaming, where we're able to like take information, curate it, and then show great visuals at the same time. So actually, it's kind of nuts. When I was just pointing towards that bridge is like right down this street. If we were just to keep going this way, we'd cross that bridge into Juarez, which is pretty cool. But we're not going to go that far, but we are going to walk just a little bit down this direction, because I want to show you guys this Palace Theater over here, which is pretty neat. And you can see it already, like right here. This is it, Palace Theater. So the Palace Theater, originally called the Alhambra, opened on August 1st, 1914. It was designed by the name of the architect. His first name was Henry. His middle initial was C. His last name was Trost. So it was designed by good old Henry Trost to be used either as a playhouse for live theater or as a movie house, one or the other, both. The theater displays, don't listen to the music, shh, quiet music, don't play in my background. Running away from the music, hold on a second, sorry. YouTube's gonna damn me every time. I gotta hide behind this sign really quick. Okay, so like I was saying, this movie theater, movie house, live theater, what you can see on the outside is the Spanish colonial format with a lot of Moorish influence. And the facade exhibits a delicate overall tracery of arabesque. I didn't know that was a word until today. Although the interior has been significantly altered for various uses, the original character of the building can clearly still be seen. And yes, Thorsten, his name was Trost, T-R-O-S-T. And we're not even close to being done with him. And Jeanette asks, does it ding you even if you were talking over the music? And the answer is, once again, unfortunately, it does. My obligation is to mute the button, so that way I don't pick up that background music. The first time I noticed it was when we were doing the live stream in Tampa, Florida, and we were at that Italian restaurant, which was so amazing, an incredible meal that we shared together. Although I put on all the calories, you guys had a calorie-free meal on that one. And we had 3 songs that were playing in the background over the course of that video, and I got dinged. Got dinged for it. I didn't know, but now I've got to remember, stay away from music playing on the street. And Thorsten, it would completely make sense that the guy was German, because a huge proportion of Americans can trace their, or U.S. nationals can trace their heritage back to Germany, and it speaks to the time, sort of between through the mid 1800s to late 1800s. Lots of Germans end up leaving what wasn't Germany yet, right? Because Germany doesn't exist until 1871. When Prussia will come together to kind of unite all of the different kingdoms and baronies and princedoms of Germany. A lot of people coming together simply because they didn't want to be trounced by the French again, who had used Germany as a battleground for so long. So yeah, through like the 1840s, 50s, and 60s, massive numbers of Germans end up coming to the U.S. I think it's something like 1 in 8 or 1 in 10 Americans can trace back some German heritage. So it's quite a lot. So yeah, okay, back to the tour. Oh, pawn shop. That's not where I'm taking you guys next. Sorry. Our next location is the Merrick Building, right over here that we're looking at now. Over on that corner. Let's get a little bit closer, why don't we? I shouldn't actually cross yet. I have to wait for a second. Yeah, of course, Thorsten. Very, very happy, brother. Very happy to help. So the Merrick Building is one of the most extensively detailed buildings on South El Paso Street. That's the street that we're walking down right now. El Paso Street being the street named El Paso Street because it goes to El Paso from Ciudad Juarez, from the south. It takes you up into El Paso. Constructed during the building boom, which followed the arrival of the railroads here in like the 1880s, the elaborate 3-story Victorian style building makes use of a variety of materials, including stone blocks, red bricks, cast iron. Charles Merrick, a famous clothier, tailor, hatter, shoer, and furnisher, used the first floor. The Shelton Payne Arms Company, a major arms supplier, would be located here during the Mexican Revolution, and was located on the upper floor. The St. Charles Hotel began in 1890, began using the 3rd story. Beginning in 1931, the Hollywood Cafe replaced the store down below, and in 2000, the building was restored and now features apartments on the upper floors. The ground floor continues to be operated for retail purposes. What cool apartments up there, huh? Folks having a nice time. Although I can see that window open means he doesn't have AC, and that's got to be brutal right now. Although the joke right now in Texas is that they've been told not to use their AC anymore because the power grid can't handle it. It's not funny. It's terrible, actually. It's a freaking that it has this power grid issue. So in the winter when it's too cold, it can't handle it, and when in the summer when it's too hot, it can't handle it. Now the joke right now is everyone's expecting the Senator Cruz to be sending pictures from somewhere in South America of him skiing down slopes to escape the heat, as he very much escaped to Mexico during the cold blasts as well. So this one's for you, Ted Cruz. I hope whatever happens. So right. So there's tons of little stores along this space which really cater to like they're cheap tchotchke stores, and you can get a feeling that it's people coming north of the border, and people looking for a deal are able to come up here and do some shopping. So we're not going to head any further down that direction because it's not actually what I want to show you guys. What I want to talk briefly about is a building that used to be right here, but it's sort of like partially here and partially largely renovated. You can't get the feeling of what it used to be as much, but this used to be was a stagecoach station. This was the stage station and the site of the Butterfield Overland Mail Company from 1858. And it was back then that Anson Mills, the guy from that Mills building that we saw earlier on, he said and commissioned this Butterfield Overland Mail Company to build its El Paso stage station. The Adobe station that was once here was the largest and best equipped station on the Overland Mail route from St. Louis, Missouri, all the way to San Francisco, California. The structure served as the dividing point between the eastern and western divisions of the 2,700-mile line. Well, the Civil War and the consequent removal of the Union troops put Butterfield out of business in 1861. During and after the Civil War, the building served a variety of purposes, including a Confederate Army hospital in 1862, the U.S. Army barracks from 1878 to 80, a hotel, and a saloon. El Paso continued to have stage service under various contractors until the railroad arrived in 1881, and the stage building was eventually demolished in 1898. Mr. Alarafai says, "You're very informative," gives me a thumbs up and a smiley face over on Twitch. my friend, I hate to admit it, but as those who caught the very beginning, I am using a cheat sheet right now. And I'm very grateful for the cheat sheet because the cheat sheet comes from Visit El Paso. And these guys have been kind enough to create self-guided walking tours. So even though I've read this information, I have a lot of it in my head, I don't have nearly the retention to be able to give it to you guys the way that I would like to give. I would need at least kind of a week, I think, to prepare properly. And as I'm doing a different tour every day, right now, I am kind of cheating. But the videoing is all me, right? And I've chosen what I'm going to talk about and what I'm not going to talk about. So I'm also editing the information as we go. But I would never claim to be doing something more than I actually am doing it. How cool are all these old signs, though? I mean, it feels like these should be like ghost signs, but they're not. It's really those buildings. These things are still in here. All right, I don't want to get too close to Elvis over there because Elvis is singing and making music, which YouTube's going to ding me for. But what I do want to talk about is the building that Elvis is standing kind of in front of here at Dave's Pawn Shop. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's little Elvis right there. Yes, guys, Arigato is safe in New York and being taken care of. I appreciate you guys asking about that. Gosh, I miss that kitty. He's such a good boy. He's such a good boy. This building here, which I want to point out to you guys right now, where Dave's Pawn Shop is, and this little boutique right next to it, it's cool because this was the old Montgomery Building. And it's a style of building that we don't have anymore here, except for this very, very last building. And it's what's called a false front building. So you can see, actually, let me cross over real quick again without getting music. And you can kind of see how this front of the building is like just a facade. If you look in section there, it's just like a faker, you know? And then the building is kind of behind it. And this was a style which was incredibly typical, very, very typical in the Old West, in the cowboy days of these old Western towns. Because it was a way to have a high front storefront, but not have to actually build an entire building out of expensive material. So this particular building is the last surviving false front wood structure in the city of El Paso. It was completed, its original, in 1882, as El Paso underwent a great transformation from an adobe village to a thriving city following the arrival of those railroads again. Named for its builder, William J. Montgomery, it was typical of this Western frontier architecture of the late 19th century. The simple box-shaped building, adorned with decorative wood cornices that you can still, of course, see to this very day above the remodeled storefront. It is the oldest remaining commercial building in the city of El Paso. Hello, oldest building in commercial building in El Paso. Glad to have you, sir. Hey, Jenny Jean, thanks for the Purple Heart. Always good to see you. All right. So, how are we doing for time so far? Ugh, gosh. Not great, Chris. Not great. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Sometimes I feel like that white rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, you know? Always on the move, always checking the watch. Gotta make it to the next stop. But it's all worth it. Absolutely. And I'm feeling really good today, guys. I hope you guys are feeling good too. I hope everyone's feeling really good today. It's a pleasure to be back here and to be on this road trip with you. I'm excited for a ghost tour tonight. I'm going to try, like I said, to be sneaky and live stream it maybe, but at very least I'll record it and then show it to you later on. So, all right, what do we have next? Oh, this is a fascinating time. Oh yeah, thank you for the white rabbit and the clock, Jeanette. This is a great building that we're coming up on right here. It's the old Wigwam Saloon. And the Wigwam Saloon, today, speaking of ghosts, houses the El Paso Paranormal Society. They're in there. But the Wigwam Theater and Saloon, there's also some pretty cool, here, I'm gonna come around this way real fast. pretty cool graffiti here, and you can see all of these old boarded up windows, bricked up above, and then there's what used to be a doorway here. You can see the footstep into it, but it's been bricked up as well. So during its heyday, in the 1880s to the 1890s, this Wigwam Saloon ranked as one of El Paso's top 5 prestigious saloons. Yeehaw! The bar was at street level. Gambling, as they say, since it was often illegal, was on the second floor instead of the first floor. You know, because it's illegal, you don't want it right up front. So you'd have a connection from the second floor where the gambling stuff was going on, hidden, of course, to the first floor where the proper saloon was. But the claim to fame of this location is that none other than constable and gunman John Selman, famous for killing another like criminal outlaw, old Western cowboy guy by the name of John Wesley Hardin. Well, John Wesley Hardin's killer, John Selman, who was exercising a warrant anyway, so he was acting within the law at that particular moment. Well, John Selman, turns out, was also a crook and criminal at times, as much outlaw as he was deputized sheriff. And he was slain by Deputy U.S. Marshal George Scarborough as he was exiting from the Wigwam Saloon here. So the existing building was redesigned by, you'll never ever guess who. It's a guy by the name of Henry C. You want to guess? Trost, for use as the Wigwam Theater in 1912. It was renamed the State Theater at one point, which closed in the 1970s, and now the structure is retail space, and of course home to the paranormal society. What they're called? Yes. Paseo del Norte Paranormal Society. Kind of neat. Dun dun dun. Jason. Freddy Krueger. Well, they look kind of like Lego versions. They are Lego versions. Big Lego versions. Scream guy. Dun dun dun. All right, we're continuing on. There's too much to talk about and too little time for it all. So next stop I want to show you guys is this State National Bank. Let me cross over to the other side of the street, get a better view of it. So I can really show you here. The old State National Bank, founded in 1881 with the arrival of them railroads. The State National Bank was instrumental in the early growth and development of El Paso, because you need a safe place to keep your money when you got outlaws around, right? So you got to put it in the bank, take out loans, all that kind of stuff. Here it is. This was the second building for the bank, which commissioned an architect. He's a famous architect in this town. Some people have heard of him before. Old friend of mine, Henry C. Trost, to design a handsome classic building with careful detailing around, based on Roman and Italian Renaissance motifs, entirely from terracotta. The State National Bank moved in 1962, and the building eventually became retail space in the early 1960s. All right. Am I going to cross safely here? Yep, I am. So the next building that we're going to look at is actually this one right here, which is kind of like right on top of me. And this is the Coles-Hubble Building. There we go, Coles-Hubble Building here. A little bit more distance from it so you can really see it. And now we're doing well. So Coles-Hubble Building, designed by, thank goodness, not Trost for the first time here, by a guy by the name of Ernest Krause. Not exactly a non-German sounding architect, I gotta tell you that. Good old Ernest Krause designed this for Alfred P. Coles and J.D. Hubble for use as an office building. The 3-story building opened in 1900. Following World War II, a trend developed wherein property owners could cover the historic buildings with a modern facade and alter the original appearance. The building, as well as the old First National Bank, which we saw over there, of course, over on that corner, Both had that horrible thing done to them, but as you can see, both of them also had their facades re-exposed, and which is very, very fortunate for us because we still get to be able to enjoy them. So, all right, we are next headed down this direction, I believe, towards, let's make sure I'm going the right way. It's built quite a lot of this wonderful city that we're visiting today. I'm very happy about this. It's not a problem. All right. We're on San Antonio Avenue right now. Sorry, a little bit confused. Whoop. Dun dun dun. Nope. Went the wrong way. Sorry about that. Ooh, it's hot. I was like, this looks very familiar, but it's the wrong direction. I need to go back over here. Thorsten offers a house swap for anyone wanting to go live in Germany. And here's your opportunity, Shannon, to make the move and hand over the keys of your Canadian castle. Move to the land of Schnitzel and Bratkartoffeln. Not a bad choice. Yes, this is what I was looking for. Jeanette's asking how the gear is holding up in the heat. I'm afraid to touch the phone right now. I bet it is smoking hot. I keep trying to stand in shade whenever I have a chance to keep it from getting too hot, but I can't imagine it's great right now. It is something I'm nervous about, that all of a sudden it could just stop working. So yeah, so far so good though. I'm not even gonna put that out in the air. Not even gonna put that out in the air. That other building. Must be around the corner. Okay, so this building here that we're looking at right now is the Caples Building. Richard Caples, mayor of El Paso from 1889 to 1893, commissioned our buddy Henry C. Trost to design what would become El Paso's first reinforced concrete building. Originally 5 stories tall, 2 additional stories were added to the building in 1915 and 1916. You can see those 2 additional stories kind of there up at the top. Really kind of makes sense. You can kind of feel that they've been added up there. The commercial building contained a retail space on the ground floor with a U-shaped shaft. Most of the principal facades were covered with brick, and the concrete shows only in the sparse use of ornamentation. The 2 top stories have terracotta detailing and arched windows, which we can see up there, very pretty. And during the Mexican Revolution, the building housed the offices of various notable Mexican political figures. Revolutionary leader Francisco Madero plotted the pivotal revolutionary battle of Juarez in 1911 in the 5th floor offices, where Abraham Gonzalez had set up an evolutionary junta. It must be a revolutionary junta. Dr. Ira J. Bush, an American physician who subsequently assisted the Maderistas Army's medical services, had his offices here as well. Very neat. Okay, we're going to continue. Ooh. Lots of history here. They say that Texas was born sort of in El Paso, and that Texas's original history is really El Paso history. It's kind of a neat concept. Here we've got what is the Popular Department Store. And this Popular Department Store, built in 1912 and again in 1916, is yet another design by our famed architect Henry C. Trost. This one is in the Chicago commercial style, using all white terracotta. Adolf Schwarz, guess he couldn't have been German with a name like that, right? Founded the Popular Dry Goods Company here in 1902, The store first opened at a location at South El Paso and Overland Street. Don't listen to the music, don't listen to the music, don't listen to the Alright guys, I've come around the corner so we don't listen to the music of the guy blasting his car music. Clearly not being very kind to live streamers, but we're just gonna back it up just a little bit. You can still see the edge of the building that we're talking about here. So, as I was saying, the store first opened at a location in South El Paso and Overland streets, followed shortly by a move to the old Masonic Building, formerly located at this site. The Popular, or La Popular, served the El Paso, southern New Mexico, and Tijuana region for 93 years. I'm gonna turn the microphone back off again, and we're gonna walk back towards the street. All right, my boy's gone now. He's driven on, heading down the street. Uh-oh. Hey, good news and bad news, folks. We are no tiempo. We are low on tiempo. It's a good point, Shannon. I could just sing over the music, and then I'd probably definitely get in trouble for copyright because, you know, my voice is basically the same as every like famous singers when I sing. So yeah, just be more trouble probably than it would be worth, I guess. All right, let's see if we can't cross here, because this is the next building that I want to. Well, we're gonna actually walk. We already talked about Popular. Got a good view of it already. Let's head down towards Aztec Calendar Park. And as we're coming up on 2 o'clock, I'm afraid that we're gonna probably say that this is where we're gonna wrap up in good old Aztec Calendar Park. Quick look around, just to see what else we have. Gone for an hour and it's been great. I've really enjoyed this. It's been an interesting style to, guys. It's an interesting style to kind of use this cheat sheet as we've gone, and allowed me to really kind of to explore San Antonio a bit with you. San Antonio. I keep saying San Antonio because I keep walking along. This street here is San Antonio Street. But we're not in San Antonio. It's just that this street heads in the direction of San Antonio, hence why it's called San Antonio Street. We are in El Paso, just to be clear. Oh, that's a really good point, Jeanette. Jeanette writes that she could send me the artist that she works with music to play over other people's music, and as long as I've got a copyright permission from David, then I'm good to go. Let me just use that, give him honors for it, and boom. Yeah, nice idea. Me likey. So here we are in this small city park where we're going to be wrapping up our hour together as I rush to get to OK Corral, Wyatt Earp, and Doc Holliday stories. This park extends between Kansas Street on the east and North Stanton Street on the west. Since the 1870s, religious services were held here in what was called a preaching tent, and other uses for the triangular-shaped space followed. In 1869, the city of El Paso constructed an attractive city hall here. It's no longer here. Whoa, windy. Super windy. So here in this end of it, the space was ultimately designed as Aztec Calendar Park in recognition of the replica Aztec Stone of the Sun calendar donated in 1953 to the city of El Paso by Petróleos Mexicanos, Pemex. Oh, okay, I know those guys. The plaster sculpture was one of 3 replicas cast from the original stone located in Ciudad de Mexico, Mexico City, CDMX. Beginning with the placement of the World War I memorial, which we're going to walk back over towards over here. And continuing over the years, the park has served as a site for placement of numerous war memorials. This one, and then we've got World War II, the Korean conflict, Vietnam conflict, all having their own memorials in here. Also included is a monument to honor the men from Ciudad Juarez who gave their lives in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam while serving in the U.S. Armed Forces, despite not being American citizens. The Civil War is represented by the Mills Memorial Shaft. Where is that Mills Memorial Shaft? Huh. Ah, there it is. It's that small obelisk that we see there in front of us. Civil War. Yeah. Right, or Heroes Monument, this Mills Memorial Shaft, which was presented to the city of El Paso by Orson Mills in 1920 to the memory of 9 of primitive El Paso's patriot heroes. The monument was relocated from Cleveland Square in 2005. The park also features 2 time capsules, the El Paso Bicentennial Commission, to be opened for the U.S. Tricentennial celebration in 2076, and a second capsule in recognition of the Texas Sesquicentennial, to be opened in 2036. Although I don't know where those time capsules are. Doesn't seem to be really clear where they are hidden. They're around somewhere. All right, well, tiny little park. Okay, guys, you know, there is honestly so much more to tell and show about. I haven't been using sunblock, it's true. Thank you for pointing that out, Alexa. But I have been using my Garcia Mexican hat and generally wearing pants and shirts and things like that. But I do need to get some other sunblock on me. And Shannon, good point on shouting out that, of course, time capsules buried in the ground. So interested people like myself don't start wandering through them too early to see what's going on there. Well, it's been wonderful. Such a blast. Absolutely interesting, beautiful buildings. Gosh, we got another one over here. I mean, I don't want to stop, but I feel like if it's a choice between us seeing more of El Paso right now, or of us being able to get to Tombstone, I feel like we want to do Tombstone, right? Real quick though, this is Charles and Bassett built this Bassett Tower in honor of his father, Oscar, a prominent El Pasoian who was one of the founders of the State National Bank. Could you guys want to guess? You want to guess who the architect was? You never guess. It's my boy, Henry C. Trost. Yes, Henry C. Trost himself. Completed in 1930, the 15-story setback skyscraper rises over a larger one-story base down below. The entrance is an elaborate display of Art Deco design. Let's get across the street, just take a quick look at it, because it's pretty. This Art Deco design includes elements of a frieze of plant designs in square plaques just above the ground floor. Yeah, it does. Look at that. Very cool old building. Oh. Neat, huh? What a cool entrance to a building. This Art Deco style, it's so New York to me that to see it in other places, I find it really, really neat. Anyway, the entrance is an elaborate display, like I was saying, of Art Deco design elements, including a frieze of plant designs. 10 eagle sentries guard the 15th floor. Wow. Well, I can't even see up there, the 15th floor. But it's up there. The entrance mustachioed face over the... Oh my goodness. Oh, what a great way to end. I'm so glad. The mustachioed face over the main entrance is that of none other than Henry C. Trost. Boom. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Maybe he was German. Maybe he was from someplace else. But either way, he definitely helped build this city. I'm glad that he got his face up on it somewhere. Very, very, very neat. Sarah asked, does El Paso feel safe place, like a safe place to visit? It's very clean and lots of interesting history. Yes, it does. Sarah, it feels incredibly safe here and super friendly. People have been lovely, absolutely lovely. Great Tex-Mex here. I honestly, I think El Paso is a wonder. I've been thinking I should walk across the bridge and go check out Ciudad Juarez, maybe do a tour there, bring the gimbal and the phone. I didn't do it, not enough time this time, but awesome. Very, 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 I'd highly recommend it if you're doing a road trip here through here. El Paso is a great place to stop if you're driving from like Austin to Los Angeles or Phoenix or Vegas or something. I'm gonna run. This has been real. You guys are incredible. If you've only caught the end of the video, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button over on. Give a heart or a thumbs up on Facebook, because that's I think most of you guys are right now, to keep the chat going. I'll see you from Tombstone in a little bit. Okay? Stay safe wherever you are. I will too, I promise. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate you all joining me for this tour around old Paso's downtown. Oh, good call. I will stay hydrated. Oh, that's like tea. It's like flavorless tea. That is a hot bottle of water. Woo. Disgusting, but still really good for the system, I'm sure. I'll drive very safe. I have to. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't even tell you. Heartbreaker. Driving along the highway yesterday, some fracking truck kicked up a stone, put a crack in my windshield. Put a crack in my windshield of the car that I am driving to sell. It's just like, all right, you're up there watching me and you're laughing. I'm laughing back, right? Got to keep a smile. But yeah, safe. I mean, driving is safe, but you can't stop those rocks from getting kicked up every once in a while. So, what are you gonna do? That's what it is. I will be safe though, and you guys as well. And see you from Tombstone. Okay, we're gonna get some haunted images for this evening, I'm sure. Mwah. Ciao, ciao, and I'll be back in touch in a few hours. Bye, guys.